all the food safety management or regulations it's based on risk assessment. Oh, that's good. That's we already get into one step here. But we only talk about the food assessment here, but didn't mention any risk management, and also didn't cover the risk communications. And also in this here, the Article 4, it's so limited words here. So it's not so clear. Even we have another law in here to describe how can we form this advisory board to do this. But no matter what, we have this new steps to cover the basis of risk assessment in food safety management. That's important. But we look at this in here, maybe we have more questions need to be solved. The first thing is what is the role of risk communications in our food safety issues? The second one is we need to distinguish the risk communication and the crisis communication. We know the risk and the crisis is different, right? We don't want to have risk, not do anything, and you get the crisis and try to manage the crisis too late. So one is preventative, one is cure. So I think these two things that when you communicate, and we need to really look into it. The third one is consumer still wants have zero risk because they don't know what means the risk. They thought the risk is the hazards, but it's not. So all the things here, I only have 7 minutes, so very quick to go through this. I talked to Cesare, to borrow one of yours. Mine is better. See, you see the red colors? You change it to green. You change to green.
I was trying to be toned with
Okay, and here, I don't want to repeat this, but I just want to use one of the slides in here to make it bigger so you can see in the back. So communication here is among the risk assessors. That's in the risk assessment side. And the risk manager, that's in the policy maker. The other side is management. And consumers, food industry, academia, and other interested parties, all these stakeholders needed to be involved. Okay, this is what I try to see this. But actually, the communication, I can really divide it according to Charles Yeo, and he said this: the risk communication should have two parts. One is internal. That's internal. That means that between the risk assessment and assessment management, we need to have a coordination between these two parts, the assessor and the managers. And to start with that, and then we also look at that all the internal risk communication needed to be documented. That's important. Documented is not just what the results of communication, or what decision we make from the communication process. It is that you need to record all the process, how you do this. That's most important. And also look at this. In the past, the risk assessment, risk management, basically we have the risk assessment much earlier. We already have this, and we put a lot of scientific basis to do this. And at that time, you look at the risk management, basically as the government try to using these results to give to the public. And the risk communication is not, because they wanted to separate. They said, well, you do yours, give me the results. I'm going to announce to make the policy, but it's not that simple. Okay, then at present time, the risk communication is still not too good because risk communication started with the 70s, and the last decade then get recognized by the international community. So little bit there, is right? So the risk management, risk assessment, so they're all very strong and well published. I think that Dr. Wu will publish in many assessment designs, right? In the reputed publications. And ideally, we want to have the three equal important. But if you look at that, this morning, I think it's from your slides, you also mentioned this. This General is joined the FDA, FAO and WHO in a meeting on this microbiological risk assessments. So you see this part here, excuse me. It's a science basis. We can do many scientifically, no matter as chemical or biological hazard, we all can do the risk assessment for this. And this part is the policy basis. And communication basically needed to involve all the interested group and the consumer in here. Okay. And for the Australia and New Zealand, and they have this put the risk assessment and the management floating in the whole pound of risk communication. I think this is a more interactive exchange. So this is what we want to have the communication all the time. Now, I remember that we have a new president and start with our government is the best communication.沟通, that's important. So we need to go down from here. So we look at the external risk communication. The risk communication and the crisis communication have been well studied, but the public environments are not enough in here. Sometimes we also needed to include the conflict resolutions. But in here, I just have limited time here. You look at the risk communication and crisis communication is different. 一个是风险沟通，一个是危机处理。Sometimes we say, so and so bad in 危机处理. That means something happens. You try to get by according to the time. We just wait. Probably they will disappear for a while, but it's not true. They're getting worse. So the previous speaker already mentioned this. Gotta be timely and something. So no matter what, we have something needed to understand is here. When we do the communication here, that's very important because a lot of people think about communication is part of risk management. So they put a lot of propaganda and they try to control the media, but that is not. The second thing here, sometimes the communication, they thought this is public education. But who knows? The consumer is not student. Consumer is very complicated population here. They wanted to know, to understand how you solve this problem, how to make the process. They want to know your policy is a scientific basis, and also know your process is transparency. Okay, that's most important. So I think we need to have the risk communication, especially the speaker person needed to be trained. So by training this, it's not everybody can talk. That's important. It's not trying to persuade. So we need to what kind of people to help here. We need to have the food safety experts. We need to risk communicator, and we also have the consumer behavior scientist. That's important. Why do people want to buy this? Why people want to eat this? But we need to understand consumers. And also we need to have management expert, because everybody have a different cultural background and their perceptions we mentioned before. So government, they put out anything in here and compare that to the satisfaction of the consumer is not in the right ratio. The consumer, their perceptions is different from the government. So that means that there is a vacuum zone between the recognize of risk communication and the public perceptions. There's another things I want to mention, give me 30 seconds. Is in the US, I've been there for many years, and everybody worry about the PM 2.5, is right? Everybody criticize, oh, the air pollution is very bad. That's the consumers. But the EPA, the expert, and the public health, they thought, oh, how's your house, this rooms? Is this room very clear and very clean air in here? As a consumer's house is very clean air, nobody worry about that. That's because of perceptions. Maybe you stay in your room, your office here, the air is PM probably 5, we don't know. We only worry about it outside. Oh, today the 2.6, too bad. So that's important to understand here. Okay, then what's needed to do this? We know what we want. So who's going to do this? When? And how to do it? I think it's everybody need to have input for the expert to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Huang's speech. And now we would like to invite Professor Johnson for the final presentation. I'm very pleased to attend this meeting. And from a teacher's perspective, I think that here in Taiwan, we have 4 categories of people that need to be trained to build up the capacity to let them know how to proceed or how to follow the food management or the food, the risk management and risk analysis. Okay, the first category will be the academic areas. I think ever since I come back from the United States and teach in the National Taiwan Ocean University, whenever I have a student come to me and ask me if he wants to go abroad to study further for his career, and what should he or her learn? And I always advise her or he to pursue in the area of risk management, because when you start from the HACCP, then you know that all the procedures you need to base on the scientific evidence. And I think that's proof over the years for me is true, because even now in National Taiwan University, okay, if you had a risk management background, you're more than easier to get a teaching job in the university, especially in the food science department, because even now in Taiwan we still lack of those expertise in this area to run those food risk management and the food analysis progress. And the second category will be the industrial, because here we learned that all the end results of the risk communication is not only the verbal announcement, but actually the physical edible products is a result of the risk management. So for every product, we need to proceed in a risk management basis. And the industrial is not lacking the knowledge gap, but they don't have the application and the practice guidelines for the industrial or to guide the industrial how to run their HACCP or even now have a broader spectrum as a preventive control management. That will be in a practical way to show you that what the scientific evidence and also the risk management process that to modify your process and to have a better supply chain control. And now we see, especially in the FESMA, the new law in the United States, they apply for preventive control qualified individual training course. So it's more than just HACCP. And the third category person need to be trained will be the government, not the legislators. But for those who in charge of auditing the food processors, also they need to have perform their auditing based on the risk-based principles, not just by guessing, not just by those individual experience only. And probably the fourth category person that need to be trained is the media or the consumer interesting group. Because at the end of this, all the news that spoke out by the company or by the government need to be interpreted correctly by those people. And the second point I want to make is if you apply those risk-based approach to a budget allocation principles, that over the years in Taiwan, we know that the major three causes of those the food poisoning outbreak will be bacteria, especially the Vibrio pneumonia and also the Bacillus cereus and the staph. They account for over 95% of all these cases. And when we apply, or if we apply those risk-based budget allocation principles, then you know that we probably should put more effort in study those what the causes or how to prevent these bacterial pathogens that causes the human disease. I think that there are more than enough literature in the journals or those publications have studied for the E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, or even the Campylobacter. And also there's some product-oriented, product-wise risk assessment, like an egg, like an animal slaughterhouse, or the fresh cut produce, or the refrigerated ready-to-eat foods, or even the juice. And now we see some risk assessment applied to the transportation or the cold chain. I think in Taiwan, we need to focus or spend more effort in those areas. Okay, so probably I think you are smart enough to attending this meeting because that will be a way to communicate not only to the legislator or also to the government or also from the academic area, but you'll be smarter if you stay for this afternoon because we can hear some perspectives from the industry. Okay, thank you.
Before we open to the discussion, because the legislative will have very tight schedule, you want to say something before opening start discussion?
不好意思大家好，我现在用中文，刚刚你用英文。我想，其实在国内很多对风险评估、风险沟通、风险管理有很多不是很专业的概念，比如说风险评估能不能跟风险管理独立？不可以。其实1983年美国 NRC 美国国家科学院建构这个架构的时候建立独立。这个我想李老师都很清楚，就建构独立。那怎么来改善？评估者跟风险管理者就加强他们之间的沟通不是说不能独立。 将来我们风险评估是不是根据饮食的数据来做？不完全是。我们以三聚氰胺为例，它那个 MR 是怎么定出来的？美国人假设他们每天吃3公斤的食物，假设1.5公斤含有三聚氰胺，就这样一算，就这样子。好，其实我们 risk assessment 是整合现代最佳的科学资讯来做。好，那我们要知道台湾碰到的困难是什么？其实为什么风险评估风险沟通很难做？因为风险沟通要注意的事情太多了。以专家来讲，不大会注意到。例如很重要，为什么大家对机盖不信任？对它安全性不信任，因为它的不确定性太高。民众会质疑你评估过程中做了多少假设，这些假设含有多少不确定性。好，这个是我们碰到的困难。所以像第二个 speaker 他讲到的，沟通里面一项很重要，就是怎么去沟通不确定性。不是只有沟通风险的高低，好，这个一般人跟专家之间为什么看法会差那么大？好，对一个物质是不是有危险，看法是差非常大。为什么呢？因为每一个人看法对价值、对那个不确定性的价值基础是不一样的，所以才会导致有很大的差异。好，这里我们要去研究。我今天是以风险专家的身份来讲，因为我想国内没有人像我持续一直在做风险相关的研究，持续参加国际风险分析协会。去年我就说去年被当选的会长就告诉我，他今年会提名我去 compete 那个 the Great Teacher Award in Risk Analysis。所以如果我今年，因为过去大概5、6年像国际风险分析大概都是我发表最多的文章，所以他们告诉我他们提名我，当然不确定我是不是会得奖，但是至少说我已经在国际上很多人是肯定我，只有在台湾很少人肯定我这样子。尤其真的在尤其过去的 FDA， 过去8年，那我们才发现很多人在做风险评估、风险规划，有很多 misunderstanding。我想我们出来是要去澄清这些。怎么整合当时最佳的科学资讯来做好风险评估？怎么去沟通？一定是要第一个一定要 gain trust。所以为什么要资讯透明公开？第一件事情要赢得民众的信任。当民众不信任的时候，连坐下来跟你沟通要不要？那媒体不是我们去教育他，媒体是我们要资讯透明公开，去让他去报道。所以我记得我第一次去参加黄牛镇的风险评估咨议会的时候，我就听到很多人说，我们要不要找媒体记者来上课？我就不晓得怎么说下去了。我们要怎么去透明公开，让媒体记者信任我们，愿意报道我们的资讯，才有办法去解决风险沟通的困难。现在台湾是非常困难，再来要一个很有公信力的出来沟通，这样才会是重要，不然台湾要跟民众沟通起来是很困难。在国际上就是很明显的趋势，民众、NGO 对学者、专家对官方那个信任度都逐渐下降了很低。我想为什么包括欧盟要接受美国这一套的风险分析，就是在1996年以后，这个英国的狂乱症发生以后，如果你去看公共政策的那个文章，就有 title 就是这是公共政策的大灾难。因为民众完全对学者、专家、对官员完全失去信心，就是英国的狂乱症，1996年开始。所以为什么欧盟开始会改要独立的风险评估机构，要改完全充分的沟通资讯，就是因为狂乱症的问题，导致民众完全对政府、对学者、专家失去信心。不好意思，我也是先走，如果有机会再谈。
谢谢吴委员。
谢谢魏好，谢谢魏。I think Mr. Verano, you learned something from our experts here, and you want to say something, your response. Okay, so we'll give you a few minutes to respond to their comments. and justify your explanation. So, yeah, just to elaborate a bit on some concepts, very interesting. Legislator Wu, but also Professor Wang talk about the difference of risk communication and crisis communication. Also about consensus communication, which is a definition I like very much, honestly, because it's very to the point. Why EFSA is a unique document, in my opinion? Because if you want to build trust, you want to build this consensus communication, you have to found it on the daily, the routine communication, not on the crisis communication, which is also emergency. And that's the part where some authorities are not still so developed. Also, a simple advice like wash your hands before eating, or treat separately at home chicken and vegetables. It's something that could be useful for consumers. Some authorities try to communicate daily with this, and that could help then the perception, the right perception of consumers when you communicate in crisis, when you communicate big risks. Could help consumers to understand that zero risk is not a real concept, is not existing in the real world. For us, it's normal, but not for the consumers. Simple data, simple comparative analysis that explain to consumers that it's more risky to take a shower than to get killed by a terrorist or other things. It's an effective means of communication. We should try to communicate this concept, or to get killed because of food is injurious. That could really help the consumers to build their risk acceptance criteria day by day. So the two concepts are strictly connected, separate but strictly connected to me. How to do it? Good question. There are a lot of books telling us how to educate children, but you thought, I read it, they make sense to me, but I found very difficult to apply those books day by day. It's the same approach. In some cases, what I noticed working with the authorities, they are very rigid on the procedures. We cannot only apply procedures. We cannot eliminate the human part in these tasks. And that's why the social sciences are also important, not only to predict the reactions, but also to give a human touch to this scientific and political communication. Okay, that's why the multidisciplinary approach. You need also to a human touch when you communicate. That's clear. And so we don't have any magic bullet, any solution, ready solution, say. And then other important issues were raised. Data protection. Data protection, if you want to cooperate with stakeholders, is important as well. One of the weak points of the RASP system is exactly this one. It's not well disciplined how the data, sensible data of the companies are protected. There are no clear procedures. That's why after many years of bad communication, different criteria applied in each national member states, there is a lot of mistrust in the communication by the public authorities in our industry, in our company. There are no clear rules in place. So you have to be very clear about what can be communicated and when. Today is up to the national authority to decide when a situation is critical, and then they have the legal basis to communicate also product's name, company name, and all the sensible data. But it's left at the moment to 28 different authorities in Europe, and that's a problem. For fraud definition, I completely agree, a fraud is a fraud. No need to offer definition. If it's about shoes or other kinds of fraud, is the same. But what our authorities again are asking more and more is a food fraud definition to allocate competencies. That's the only possible use of a definition of fraud, because in any criminal system we have a definition of fraud. that more or less can apply to food. Then you can decide that if it's food or someone dies, is more serious and the penalty will be higher, but that's a criminal option or policy option that's different. And then, okay, the impact of assessment, I would say it's another part of the communication of the risk. A transparent risk impact assessment could help also in this case to enhance trust in the process. It's a preliminary part, but it's important as well. That's why also in Europe we are trying to enhance transparency. Now all the impact assessment objectives are published by the Commission in advance, and they tell exactly how the impact will be made and which are the policy options examined. And then we have a final report with all the options examined and the impact on consumers, economy, and so on. And I will close just commenting on the advice for the students to do the risk management. It's right, we are the so-called society of the risk. Everything is risky today, and such figures are requested by bank, insurance companies, government, and all the production sector. So it's true, this function of risk management is more and more requested. So for young people, I would say that's a huge advice for the future. Thank you.
It's the lunch time, but I think if you want to raise a question, you're welcome, but only can take 2 questions. Any question? Oh, please identify yourself and make your question as short as possible.
谢谢主办单位举办这一次很好的一个演讲，让我们可以学到很多。那我在这边我有个想要请教一下，我们知道在我个人来讲，我认为食品安全的一个管理部分分为3个部分，第一个就是学理上的。那我们学理上我们知道是说有3大危害：物理性、化学性、生物性。那针对这3大危害呢，我们卫生单位也做了 GHP 跟 HACCP 一些的追踪追溯的制度。然后针对第2大的危害呢，我个人觉得是故意的，是厂商为了利润呢，它可能就是在品质上面有参为跟假冒的问题。那我们知道，如果说一个开车的人，他如果今天酒驾了，他没有考虑到别人的安全，那他可能会吊照，会罚很多的钱。可是，在我们的食品业者呢，为了这些参为假冒的，可是到法院上不会被判刑，因为他完全没有任何的学理或是根据说这是慢性病的一个疾病造成的一个危害。所以在这边的话，我不晓得在欧盟或者其他社会国家，那大家是不是有这方面针对道德上的危害，应该可以怎么样的处理？那才能够避免，不然我们再多的食品技师或者再多的营养师，再多的那个水产的一些都没有用，没办法管理到道德上面这方面的瑕疵。我认为这个部分可能是未来我们交通大学可能在法律部分看可不可以有方面纳入。然后第3个部分的危害，个人认为是说有关于在政治上或是为了政治的权益或者一些政治的目的，然后造成的食品恐吓的事件。那针对食品恐吓的事件，其实在 FDA 其实已经在针对这个食品安全的这个针对这些议题呢，已经有做了一些的一个演讲的部分。那我们知道，在食品工业研究所呢，也有针对这些对了食品安全维护的部分跟安全的部分，也做了一些管理，也做了一些课程的教育训练。那我真的是很在意的，就是说针对第2类畜牧这个部分，在道德上面的瑕疵，有什么样的才可以遏制，才可以控制？不然，我们台湾的食安，不管再有10倍的人力、10倍的抽验、10倍的检验，那是没有意义的。谢谢。
As I mentioned by we cannot put everything in law. Right? Everything has a limitation. 就像每一件事都有它的限制吧。法律也不能够解决所有的问题。应该讲的已经是蛮高层次的一个医学。我想这个食安问题，我自己的经验，我想报在这就是每一个 stakeholders 都必须要参与在其中，也不能够把所有的推给政府。 我推给这个科学家去处理啊。那我想透过这个风险沟通的建立，就会使各方的意见可以有效的交流互动啊。那实际上回应到那个黄教授提到的啊，其实我们的食品安全卫生管理法第4条啊，除了有科学原则、预防原则，其实有资讯透明原则。那其实就是一个风险沟通一个最基本的要素 ，transparency 啊。那只是我们怎么去落实这方面的一个问题。好，康老师要回应一下，谢谢。
我用中文回应一下哈，就是说你刚才提到那个问题，其实，在很早以前，在我大概有一些同事跟我一起啊，在奋斗过。我们在那时候在消保会里面或者其他会议里面，我们就讲说，这些食品的问题、诈欺问题这些等等，不能用食安法，因为它很基本的精神就是跟健康危害有关，也安全，所以这个法官很难判下去。所以我那时候应该说，这是我们那个公民教育委员会把这个问题拿回去，或者消保处拿回去，用消保法。所以那个时候就是说，其实我刚刚讲的是说，我们国内在这一块呢，实在应该要尽快的来厘清这个问题。你不能把所有的事情都交到食品安全管理法里面去，因为这些问题就没有办法。所以消基会那时候说塑化剂要去，我就跟那个董事长我说，你们会输。不是会输啦，你们会得不到你们要的东西。可是这在美国没有问题啊，这个他们这个消费者去告这个公司，可以把它告到倒，罚个10亿、20亿都有可能的事情。所以其实就是说，这个部分就是我们要有不同的形态，要用不同的方式来处理。我觉得这个是这样子，就是说，所以我刚才一直讲说，我们很喜欢用教科书的方式，我们很喜欢教人家去沟通，我们喜欢教人家去干嘛？那政府很喜欢去管那个市场的事情，啊，这些很奇怪的事情，就是说我们太过于自信，就自傲，或者是学者的自傲这样子，就是说，我们跟你讲说，任何事情是对的，所以刚才有说，其实在这两个步骤 ，risk communication 或者是 risk assessment， 其实它步骤很多，就刚才讲的说这个暴露评估，其实暴露评估很多，一个是市场评估。就是说，你去超级市场看人家买了什么东西。另外一个就是说 sales， 你从那个东西的那个 total sales 去看它的 consumption。第三个就是用 calculate， 就是刚刚我也提到，就是我只能用计算的。所以这个光是这办法就是非常多、很复杂的，这不是单一的。我一直在强调说，你不能用单一的事情来处理事情。当然，如果我们想要教人家，我们缺乏这个 communication 的课，我们缺乏这，我想我们都不缺了。2年前我女儿突然有天半夜跟我讲说，我2个礼拜前碰到一个男人要结婚的，我当场吓醒了，我是怎么搞的？我有没有 communicate？ 我们开始 communicate。可以，刚才小梁说 routine communicate， 我那时候惊觉说，我跟我女儿。大概1年没有讲真正 communicate， 所以我们这个 routine 的 communication 是很重要的。那我们会不会 communicate？ 我们很会 communicate 的，每一个人都是 expert， 其实不需要你们教了，那只是说你要用你的 knowledge， 所以很多 knowledge 是需要 science， 平常就要去吸收，去吸收。所以这不是说我教你上完课拿到学分之后，交钱不等代表。拿到那个就是你拿到证书嘛，就不表示你有学到东西了。所以我想这个我刚才一直要强调这一点，所以我想我们还是有很多需要学习的，然后这个怎么去进行这样子的一致的沟通。但是我觉得 routine 的 communication 是很重要的。
We still have a chance to discuss the topic afternoon, and we will appreciate the speaker now discussing to make this education discussion very fruitful. So we are giving our speakers a very warm thanks. Thank you, and we conclude this session. Thank you.
Thanks to Professor Ni, Legislator Wu Ding Kong, Chair Professor Huang, Associate Professor Zhang, and last but not least, Mr. Varallo, for the profound discussion. This concludes the morning session. We are grateful for your attendance. The afternoon session will begin at 3 p.m. Please come back in time. Thank you. Sorry, I rephrased myself. 2:30 p.m. please. 上午的研讨会至此告一段落，中午休息时间至2点30分。下午的跨领域座谈会将于2点30分准时开始。请需要登记公务人员终身学习时数来宾至现场报到处登记。另外有预定福华餐盒来宾也请至报到处凭餐券领取餐盒。
可以自己去用餐，因为那个订餐盒的话是要另外付钱，就是我们已经事先有登记过，所以午餐的话是来宾自行去用餐，去外面用餐。就是他们与会人那个贵宾，他们贵宾会到另外的地方用餐。
讲者之类的。
对。
OK， 谢谢。
脱离 forget 这样感觉，就是可能要站在。
根本无你讲的时间啊！不讲了就走啊！干。
你是多几个是，你会讲的有了无？你哪想弄啊？
我想
拜好嘞，是听啊，有咁么听啊？迄种全世界
你那么大声，你为什么不讲？
全世界加一百，你那唔把那对方包包给啊？
好，不然。
对的。好，谢谢。那就给我的便当。
好。
你呢？
他还在录呢，那应该可以暂停。